Okay, so today I have a list of 10 of the most expensive LEGO Star Wars sets ever made. We're going to go through them all and rank them based on 4 separate categories. Goated, excellent, good, and of course overrated. And just like before when we last did a ranking video, only 3 sets can be in the goated section. Now of course there are only 10 sets on this list and there have been a lot of expensive LEGO Star Wars releases over the years. But I have chosen some proper sets. Not gold-plated minifigures, not promotional sets from over 20 years ago, or anything like that. We have the likes of Cloud City, the Super Star Destroyer, Jango Fett's Slave 1, the Death Star, the Ghost, and so much more, which you'll have to wait until later on in the video to find out. So there are indeed a few sets that qualify for this list that I haven't included, but I feel like I've picked out a good range of some really expensive sets that will indeed give us a fun list to go through today. And I'm more than sure some of my choices you will not agree with. So let's have a laugh and waste no more time. Let's get straight into it. First up, we have the original Republic Gunship, the one indeed with Jedi Bob. This set came out in 2002 and retired in 2003, so it's over 20 years old, and you wouldn't believe it retailed for just $90. You'd be very lucky if you could pick this one up for under $1,000 today. That is just crazy. So it's probably the best gunship ever made, but the draw to this set is indeed this guy, Lord and Master Jedi Bob. So with all that being said, we're going to start strong and we're going to give this set a solid good rating. Now will Jedi Bob ever return? Who knows? Maybe for the 25th anniversary of LEGO Star Wars this year. That would be pretty cool. Next up is indeed a much newer set, saying that it's still retired like 7 years ago, but we do indeed have the Ewok Village. Now what a set this is for all the minifigures. It's nearly 2,000 pieces of heaven with LEGO, and a bargain this set was. It came out in September 2013 for only $200. It then retired nearly 4 years later in 2017. Now if only 11 to 14 year old me stopped buying Pokemon cards and decided to get a 9 to 5 instead so I could afford one of these, kind of sounds like illegal child labor. Anyways, the range of minifigures and the nature of just how fun this set is, it has to go down as our first excellence. Someone get me that T-Bow, please. In comparison to a lot of these sets you'll see in this video, not bad for $600 though. Now saying that, next up is indeed a big price jump. You will need around $3,000 to get this one, but the 2001 Darth Maul Busk has indeed made it into today's video. I think this set has a crazy value. Don't get me wrong, if someone did offer it for free to me, I would take it out their hands quicker than they could finish their sentence. But would I buy this? Well, I don't have $3,000 to spend on a LEGO set, and I don't think I would if I did. But I do think for the rarity of this set and the price it is now, it does kind of blow my mind. I know you're probably confused because Darth Maul is like my favourite villain within the whole of Star Wars, but I don't particularly love this set. Doesn't mean I don't think it looks great, I just don't really love it. And so don't hate me, but I am indeed going to put this one down in the overrated section. I am now preparing for War in the Commons, but it just doesn't do much for me, especially over the rest of the sets featured in this video. Okay, so next up is a slam dunk LeBron James style goated set. It is indeed my white whale within LEGO. Now if you don't know what that is, it's basically the set you dream about when you go to sleep and you think of when you wake up first thing in the morning. Doesn't really sound too healthy, but that is the truth. It is indeed the original 2014 1,000 piece 4 minifigures, and if you've been around here long enough, you'll already know what I'm going to say. The original Star Wars Ghost. From the best animation series of all time, Rebels. Don't hate me. But if a LEGO set could have my babies, I would indeed be a dad of 12 already. But for something that used to cost just $90, it does give me a heart attack knowing this now costs more like $900. But LEGO have indeed saved my misery by releasing the 2023 version of the Ghost and Phantom 2. In line, of course, with the Ahsoka show. It is my favourite set in my collection. But as much as I love it, this one is 10 times better for the minifigures alone. You get Kanan, you get Hera, and of course you get an incredible version of Zeb. A guaranteed goated set. No bias. Not one bit, but mark my words, one day I will own this set. I will get my white whale, and you will indeed see it on my channel. But the Ghost is the first goated set indeed to make it onto the list, so we're nearly halfway through. The list is looking decent, but we need some more firepower. We need to take it up a notch. Let's get some real money burners, which will indeed cost a hell of an amount to buy. And I think there isn't anything better than to put the most expensive LEGO set of all time. It's time for Cloud City to make it onto the ranking. It was the set with the first ever printed arms Boba Fett. In fact, was he the first ever minifigure to feature printed arms? I think he might have been. Let me know. Either way, Boba, Luke, Lando and Leia are indeed all exclusive, and they do cost an arm and a leg to buy. The set itself is going to cost over $7,000 if you are to buy it new nowadays. It was a LEGO store exclusive and there weren't by any means tons and tons of it made. So of course when you factor that with the most desired Boba Fett of all time, this set is going to skyrocket in value and probably will do for years to come. It is indeed the LEGO grail of an expensive Star Wars set. The minifigures, they're just wow. Another goated set, it has to be. crazy. But only one more now. Next is another expensive set and indeed another old one. We do have the Death Star 2 all the way back from 2007. It had a decent lifespan and retired in 2009, and with nearly 3,500 pieces, it will now cost you around $3,000 to get on the aftermarket. Guys, Lego Star Wars is just crazy, but it's one of the best exteriors of a Lego set I think ever made. Like, could you imagine having this on a mantelpiece in your living room? But unlike most, if not all of these sets, there aren't actually any minifigures that you do get with the set. But I do think this should go in line with the Gunship as a good set. Of course, I would indeed have it again if someone offered it to me for free, but in comparison to the other sets featured on this list, I think a good rating is indeed a fair assessment. Now, next up is a much more recent set, and I think the only set that I've included that you can currently go to Lego and get on the shelves, but it is indeed the new UCS Venator. Now, along with the Avengers Tower, this is one of the first huge modern day sets which I plan to add to my collection. A stunning build. Look at the beauty of that ship. If you need a girlfriend, buy this, show it to her, and you will indeed be tied down for life. 100% works. Relationship advice, go for it. But for $650, what a build. And my personal favourite Captain Rex minifigure comes from this set. The first time he has indeed featured as a minifigure for years. I don't have any issue with helmet holes. I'm not that way inclined to throw a tantrum over a tiny hole in a plastic minifigure. But I do think the printing and design of Rex is out of this world. Definitely a modern day grail of a Star Wars set. Therefore, it has to go down in the good section. Thoroughly deserved. If anything, I kind of want to make this one a little bit higher. We'll leave it in the good because there are a lot of good sets on this list. But definitely a modern day grail. The next set is another crazy beast of a ship. It had a 3-year lifespan from 2011 all the way to 2014. It features 5 minifigures, of which 3 are indeed unique, but the Super Star Destroyer had to feature in today's video. It's probably my favourite box art out of all the sets included on this list, apart from the Ghost, of course. It's one of the most powerful ships within the whole of Star Wars, and get this right, the Lego build is nearly 50 inches long. I physically would not have room for half of these sets. The size of Lego literally sometimes blows my mind, but the best bit of this whole set is the mini Star Destroyer that is included. Love that from Lego. The box art alone sells this set to me. I think it's fantastic, but not quite goated. So it is indeed a solid excellent for the Super Star Destroyer today. Definitely the mini version making this one better than good. But if you have $1,000 and you're willing to spend it on Lego, it's a good shout. Now, you cannot have a ranking video with some of the most expensive Lego Star Wars sets of all time and not include these next 2 sets. But first up, we do indeed have the original Jango Fett Slave 1, or Starship, as whatever Lego like to call it nowadays. But all the way back in 2002, the year indeed of my birth, Lego released this very questionable version of Jango Fett Slave 1. Now, don't get me wrong, I know you couldn't get the detail of modern day sets 20 years ago, but the original version of Slave 1 just doesn't really do it for me. Now, the minifigures, yes, that is a quality bit of Lego, especially Little Boba. Definitely a bargain at $40. But the build, sorry, but it just doesn't really stand out. Again, if you offered it to me for free, I would indeed have it, but don't be surprised if it was on eBay less than a week later. I'm just saying. Now, this one has a current day value of around $1,000, which I think is just crazy. So sadly, I am indeed putting this one in the overrated section. Round 2 in the comments section has just begun. Just remember, before you continue to kill me, there are a lot of good sets in this video. A lot of good competition. Okay, so the final set on this list, and as I mentioned before, you cannot do a Star Wars ranking video without including this set. You already know it, but the original UCS Millennium Falcon, known as the holy grail of anyone's collection, the set that most fans within their lifetime aspire to get their hands on. The 2007 UCS Falcon is indeed the 5th most expensive set of all time, and there's a lot of reason for that. It's the GOAT. It's like Messi in football. Now I've just started a war with football fans. There goes my like to dislike ratio. It features over 5,000 pieces with 5 minifigures. Now, the minifigures aren't exactly commanding a crazy amount of value. They're going for like $10 to $20 each, but the build is arguably the best set that Lego have indeed ever produced. And I think at one point in time, this was the biggest Lego set that was ever made. Is it the Titanic that beat that? I'm not sure. The modern UCS Falcon doesn't look like it will ever retire, but if you have this version, and to be fair, probably the modern version as well, but you can sort of say that you completed Lego Star Wars. I'm just talking facts. So if you have around $1,800, you don't want to go on a holiday to the Bahamas, and you want to buy an expensive cardboard box full with plastic, which will probably take you around a month to build, be my guest. You'll enjoy it more than any beach with chocolate ice cream. So indeed, it is our final goated set on the list, and that does indeed round up the 10 sets included within this video. What do you think? Let me know down below. I hope you enjoyed, because I do enjoy making these videos. They're fun to make and even more fun to see the mixed responses within the comment section. Of course, all these values are based off sealed versions, so you could indeed get secondhand versions for much cheaper. If you've not seen the last ranking video, I'll leave a link on the screen now for you to go and enjoy. Have a great day, everybody. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.